Back on the mountain, Mu Chenfeng watched the ninjas swarm toward him. Honestly, starting mountain fires, you're asking for a long prison sentence. Yuya watched him, feeling conflicted. Are the Koga really nothing in front of them? Was our leader's decision really a mistake from the start? Suddenly, hundreds of serpents hissed as they slithered from the brush. Well, looks like your friends brought backup and more than just one, Mu Chenfeng noted. He patted Yuya's shoulder gently. I'll be a bit busy, so I'm unsealing your internal force now. You're a smart person, you know what to do, right? Yuya caught his drift immediately. To Mu Chenfeng's sheer shock, she turned and began pulling off her shirt right then and there. As she started changing into her gear, Mu Chenfeng's face turned bright red, looking like a ripe tomato in the sun. Hey, we were having a serious talk. Why are the clothes coming off? He stammered. Yuya glanced back, focused. Masaharu Tsukukawa is here, 4th of the 12 Koga ninjas. He's a serpent arts fanatic and totally insane. I need to be ready. Be careful, Chenfeng-kun. With a shimmer, she vanished. Impressive, Mu Chenfeng thought. The Sakura secret arts are quite the spectacle. Suddenly, the earth beneath Mu Chenfeng's feet vibrated with spiritual energy. Since you two have already arrived, do I really need to invite you out formally? As he spoke, 2 seasoned warriors leapt from the shadows, their presence heavy in the air. It was the Serpent Master, Masaharu, and his fellow ninja Siren. Our cover is blown, Inji-kun. Let's strike together and win. Siren, however, let out a raspy cough. Ahem, this is a young man's game. My old bones would much rather focus on resting. Meanwhile, Zheng-Chi was running for her life, pursued by ninjas. Mu Chenfeng is just up the mountain, Zheng-Chi panted, glancing back. If we can just reach him, we'll be safe. But before she could finish, a ninja lunged forward, grabbing one of her men and hurling him through the air like a ragdoll. Panic erupted as the remaining guards circled her. Protect Miss Zheng, watch the shadows, they shouted. We must ensure her safety. One guard gritted his teeth. Stupid Koga ninjas. If I ever get my hands on them, I'll definitely skin them alive. Just then, a deadly ninja star whistled through the air. In a flash of reflexes, he snatched up a stone and hurled it, intercepting the star mid-air. Sparks flew as the 2 objects collided and ricocheted off into the darkness with a loud metallic clink. Is that all you've got? Sneaky tricks, he roared, clenching his fists. Fight me fair and square if you've got the guts. But his bravado was short-lived as a ninja materialized right behind Zheng-Chi, his blade gleaming with lethal intent. 2 brave men lunged forward to shield her. Miss, they shouted, activating their golden bell and iron shirt techniques. Let's see how you block this. The ninja sneered. Suddenly, warm blood splashed onto Zheng-Chi. She froze in terror. Were those 2 already dealt with? Why are you people doing this to us? Zheng-Chi stammered. The ninja laughed coldly. Long Kingdom trash only deserves to perish by our blades. The last guard standing, seeing his fallen brothers, let out a primal scream. Second brother, third brother, I'll take your lives, he cried, charging blindly. But 2 ninjas crossed their blades, striking him down instantly. In an eye blink, Zheng-Chi found herself alone, surrounded by a swarm of shadows. Every single one of her people had been captured by the Koga ninjas. On behalf of Mr. Shah, we've come for your head, a ninja hissed. Zheng-Chi broke down in tears. Why come to the Long Kingdom just to do this? Couldn't we just live in peace? I just wanted to be valued. I wanted a life I actually enjoyed. I don't want to die. The ninja raised his sword. I want to live, she shrieked. Just as the blade descended, Yu Lin arrived like a whirlwind, kicking the ninja across the clearing. He landed with a satisfied smirk. Talk about perfect timing. Looks like I made it just in time. Think you can take us alone, the ninjas sneer. Against the Koga, you've only one path, death. Yu Lin remains unfazed. Who said I was alone? Suddenly, silver needles flash through the air, dropping the ninjas. Instantly, Li Sisi descends like a celestial angel arriving from the heavens. So many ninjas. Will your blood even keep me entertained? A company helicopter arrives as armed reinforcements surround the area. Clean this up, boys. Every single corner. Zheng-Chi watches in awe. You're all here. Yulin offers a polite hand. Let's go. The young master is waiting for us upstairs. Nearby, Mu Chenfeng mocks the Koga's foolishness. Yuya sighs, explaining that their leader was pressured by the stubborn and aggressive Miss Anai. Miss and the head of the 12 Koga ninjas. Mu Chenfeng muses. I wonder what that woman is really plotting in such a hurry. She's a mad woman obsessed with destruction, Yuya explains. Mu Chenfeng laughs until he cries. Delusional. It would take her years just to try. She's truly a frog in a well. Suddenly, a wife drags her husband out by his ear. Ow, my ear's gonna pop, he wails. Stop yelling, I've got my dignity, people are watching. He dejectedly follows her inside, grumbling about his luck. Mu Chenfeng quickly steps forward, blocking the man's path with a witty grin. Who can deal with this daily? Wu Neng sighs. Mu Chenfeng shows him his phone. The company's records on you two completely blank. Care to explain? Move it, I'm in a bad mood, the man snaps. But in a flash, Mu Chenfeng dashes forward, blocking him with effortless grace. Spiritual energy flares as the man loses his temper. Don't provoke me, he warns. Mu Chenfeng just crosses his arms, looking perfectly nonchalant. Go ahead, try me. See if those flames can even singe my clothes. The man charges with powerful chi, but Mu waits with his wooden sword. Mu dodges the strike with extreme speed. A half-step chi condensation master using sneak attacks. That's a bit beneath your status, don't you think? Stunned, Wu Neng demands to know his identity. Mu Chenfeng doesn't speak, instead unleashing a sword strike that causes an earth-shattering explosion. The name is Mu Chenfeng from Yuju, he announces, calmly. Wu Neng's face pales as he realizes the sheer gap in their power. Peak chi condensation. Mu explains he only wants a guide to Kunlun, but Wu Neng remains defensive as guardians. They must eliminate all intruders. A scream erupts from inside. My child, Wu Neng's dad mode activates instantly. He vanishes in a blur to go coddle his precious son. He's already in the room, frantically playing the piggyback game. Don't cry, Daddy's here, want another ride. Mu Chenfeng stands there speechless. A top-tier master is a total softie for his kid. Yuya giggles, teasing him about his own love for children. The ladies arrive and Yulin reports in. Li Sisi gives Mu a seductive wink. I worked so hard, young master. How will you compensate me? She tosses him a hotel card with a playful pose, but he just throws it aside. Maji is so boring, she pouts. You really don't know romance. Mu Chenfeng warns Zhengqi about the danger to her family. I didn't think about that, she replies gently. I just wanted to help you. How passionate, Li Sisi teases. Mu Chenfeng softens, patting Zhengqi's shoulder. Well, since you're here, you're staying with us now. Inside, the wife explains they are the sole guardians of Kunlun. Our lineage is ancient, she says, and we rarely ever step into the outside world. They only trust the great medical clans of old. Liu Chen realizes the truth. The legendary line of guardians is still very much alive. Liu Chen returns an old gift, the secret Gujin Huang formula. This invigorates the essence and restores the foundation. Wu Neng gasps in shock. This formula was lost years ago, he shouts. Where on earth did you get it? Liu Chen smiles coolly. He taught it to me himself. Flashback. Luo Yu teaches a young Liu Chen that medicine is a balance. It can save a life, but it can also take one. I use medicine to save, unlike those who use poison, he says, flicking her forehead. It's all about the divine balance of yin and yang. Break that balance, and no one can be saved, he warns. Little Liu Chen tilts her head, still trying to grasp the deep philosophy. Using the wrong antidote just makes death come faster. He tells her she'll understand the weight of these words when she grows up. He explains he's making medicine for a wild friend who's overexerting himself. Without this, he won't even make it to 30. He laughs. Little Liu didn't get the joke back then. Wu Neng bursts into a huge grin. Wait, you're that little girl from the stories. You're still kicking. Liu Chen smiles, explaining she's finally here to fulfill a mission she was given many years ago. So it's them. Wu Neng hands the baby to his wife. We're all family here. Come on in, let's talk over some tea. The path to Kunlun is right this way, Tan Xiaoqing called out as Mu Chenfeng strolled past. She gently reminded him of the great sacrifices made for her safety, hoping he would be her guardian. Mu Chenfeng turned with a cool smile, promising that as long as she was not a nuisance, she would be safe under his wing. With that, he led the ladies inside. Just please, do not forget your word, Xiaoqing shouted after him. She gestured toward the rear of the building, where a dusty old wine cellar hid the secret gateway to the legendary Kunlun. Mu Chenfeng took the lead into the cellar. Wu Neng, looking a bit nervous, pointed out two mysterious doors. My master said Kunlun has 3 levels, he explained politely. The left one is a shortcut to the 3rd level if you have the key, while the right one is the slow road. Apparently, Brother Ji took the long way on the right. Let me handle the opening, Wu Neng announced, gathering his energy. He sighed, wishing for his friend's safety as his chi flared. But Mu Chenfeng just drew a glowing wooden sword, wondering why anyone would bother with the long way. Panic-stricken, Wu Neng yelled, Wait, you absolutely need a key for that door. The backlash will finish you, he warned, but it was too late. Like a flash of summer lightning, Mu Chenfeng struck the seal. A brilliant portal erupted instantly. Who needs a key when you have high-voltage talent? How, he joked. Opening this was a total breeze. As Mu Chenfeng stepped into the glowing gateway, he noted he might be the only one capable of such a feat. Wu Neng stood there, jaw dropped. Had his master skipped a few chapters during his training, talk about a major secret being left out. Wow, here goes nothing. Yulin cheered, diving into the light. She urged Li Sisi to hurry so their young master would not get lonely. Meanwhile, back in Yanbei, Uncle Cheng's young miss received word that old Master Xia had already made his move toward Kunlun. She mused if Mu Chenfeng could actually handle such a threat. Uncle Cheng explained that their opponent, Yan Qinyan, was a monster at the peak of the Shantian realm with a legendary demon blade. It is beyond my pay grade, he admitted politely, but with President Liang applying pressure overseas, things should work out fine. She stood up with a tired yawn, mentioning some local troublemakers who were being quite rude at the farm lately. Uncle Chung immediately looked worried, reminding her that her father strictly forbade her from leaving the safety of the manor. She casually reached for a piece of fruit, noting that her father was far too busy with company chaos to babysit her. To emphasize her point, she gave the fruit a quick, effortless squeeze, completely pulverizing it. A little free time is all I need to tidy up. Yanbei, she said with a polite smile. She advised Uncle Cheng to stay neutral so the Zhengyi sect would not get in trouble. I will not touch old Master Xia yet, she added coolly, but those who crossed me are about to have a very bad day. She headed out as Uncle Cheng sighed, realizing everyone had forgotten how terrifying his young miss could be. She pulled out her phone and told her team to prep the car. First stop on her polite visit list, the head of the Liu family. Soon she was strolling into the Liu residence with a cheerful air. She began listing names, suspecting the Liu Wangli and Zhao families of all being quite naughty during the recent farm incident. Munching on a cold ice cream bar, Xiaofan politely asked for an explanation. The old master just scoffed, asking since when little girls who still smell like nursery school were allowed to speak to their elders. How rude. Send your father to see me, he barked. Xiaofan's smile turned a bit chilly. She acknowledged his high status, but gently pointed out that he seemed to have forgotten exactly why everyone in town gives her such a wide berth. Before he could respond, a burly subordinate delivered a sharp lesson in manners with a slap. The old man went flying as the guard roared, "Who do you think you are talking down to, Pops?" "Naughty, nobody move unless you want to see the afterlife," another guard shouted. The trembling old man struggled to his feet. Xiaofan sighed philosophically about the burdens of life and the difficult choices we all have to make. "If you skip the hard chores, you will never get the rewards," she said, sitting down comfortably. She looked at the old man with a gentle, inquisitive tilt of her head. "Do you see where I am going with this, Master Liu?" The old man tried to play hardball, claiming the Wu family was not innocent either. Xiaofan did not even blink. "Once Xiaodong returns," she whispered softly, "your entire legacy will be wiped off the map." She finished her treat and flicked the wooden stick right at his nose, startled and fuming. The old man snapped the stick in half, his face turning a lovely shade of beet red. "You want a war between our houses," he screamed. Xiaofan just laughed, crossing her legs like she was at a tea party. "War. You are not even in our league. Your only protector is practically at heaven's gate already." She giggled, reminding him how the Wu family rose to the top by always picking the winning side. She placed a mysterious pill on the table, and the old man's face went ghostly pale. Between the Zhengyi sect and elite connections, she had all the best friends. "So, what right do you have to oppose me?" she asked with a wink. She stood up, slipped on her coat with effortless style, and declared that Yanbei was officially under her management now. Talk about a boss move. As she walked away, she gave him two polite options. Either he retires permanently, or his whole family does. "I will be looking for your name in tomorrow's headlines," she added with a playful wave. "Try not to choose the wrong door again," she teased. Her maid asked where they were heading next. Xiaofan decided to drop by the Zhao family. The old matriarch there was always so worried about her grandson's crush on her. "It will be a fun little visit," she chirped. She then mused about how Mu Chenfeng should thank her for all the cleanup. "Maybe an engagement ring would be a nice gift," she joked. Her guard worriedly suggested asking her father first. Back at the cellar, Wu Neng wondered if the group would actually succeed. His wife cradling their baby mentioned the legend of the Kunlun spiritual veins. Master always said the true source was Penglai, she noted with a thoughtful smile. They might fail, she sighed. Wu Neng disagreed, hoping the path to Penglai was still reachable. They debated if enough spiritual energy remained in the world, but she reminded him of Celestial Master Zhang's secret legacy left behind for the future. That is why our cultivation reached the half-step level, she added. Suddenly, their peaceful chat was interrupted. A grumpy-looking girl burst in, leading a group carrying an old man on a stretcher. Talk about poor timing. Looks like duty calls again? Wu Neng sighed. His wife gently tucked their baby into the cradle with a sweet smile. Be a good boy, sweetie. Mommy just has to deal with some naughty visitors for a second. Wu Neng stood tall at the entrance. Hey kid, go home and I will pretend I did not see you, he offered politely. But the girl was not there for a chat. She lunged forward, swinging her blade with a dark, terrifying energy. Dark power surged past as Wu Neng dodged just in time. His friendly demeanor vanished as he flared his own energy. Wait a minute, he thought, his heart sinking. Is that the same blade that took my master's life? Wu Neng surged with golden energy as a massive broadsword manifested in the clouds. Honey, we have to take this thing down, he shouted. Seeing the giant blade falling, the girl quickly raised her own steel to block the crushing blow. Behind her, the subordinates were trapped and screaming in a frantic panic. It turned out Wu Neng's wife had already charged in to sweep the field. She was determined that neither the enemies nor the traitors would escape today. The wife's face glowed with a righteous fury, fueled by a grudge as deep as the ocean. Terrified out of his mind, the old man scrambled back and shrieked for everyone to run away as fast as possible. Move now or we're all dead, he cried. But the girl remained stubborn, pointing her weapon forward. My mother killed your master, and I'll finish you just as easily, she yelled. You think Gui Kei only controls fire. Its true power is in the slash. I have witnessed true tragedy, and now my blade can shatter mountains. After launching her earth-shattering strike, the girl burst into a wild laugh. Tremble before the might of Gichi, beg for mercy before you perish in terror, she mocked. However, Wu Neng simply reached out and crushed her ultimate attack with his bare hand. The girl's laughter died instantly, her face twisting into an expression of pure horror. What? How? She stammered. Wu Neng turned to his wife and joked, Honey, do all these ninjas have to shout catchphrases before they fight? The wife huffed. I told you to stop watching those cartoons. Don't you dare teach our son those silly habits. Realizing her attack was easily neutralized, the girl's heart sank. These two were far more powerful than she ever imagined. Gritting her teeth in desperation, she prepared her final trump card. I have no choice but to use my ultimate move now, she muttered. Meanwhile, the wife was losing her patience. Stop playing around and finish this, she sighed. We need to go home, soothe the baby, and get the diapers washed. There's no point in wasting time with this little brat. Wu Neng nodded, ready to end the duel. All right. Sure thing, dear. Just let me handle the laundry if we can have minced meat noodles for dinner tonight. Wu Neng chirped. The girl fumed with rage, looking at the innocent baby sucking its thumb in the cradle. For her mother's wish, she was willing to sacrifice everything. Elsewhere, Mu Chenfeng led his group deep into a mysterious cave. He looked up, sensing the thick spiritual energy of the Kunlun realm. If I cultivate here for 3 months, he thought, reaching the foundation establishment stage will be a certainty. Mu Chenfeng told Yuya to wait for her clan to arrive, but Zheng Qi was hesitant. Wait, she's a Koga ninja. We can't just let her go. Kunlun is full of secrets, and we can't risk her stabbing us in the back later. Hearing the doubt, Yuya immediately stepped forward to prove her loyalty. Li Sisi added coldly, In this world, being merciful to your enemy is the same as being cruel to yourself, Chenfeng. Are you just soft-hearted because she's pretty? She teased. Yuya shyly pulled on Mu Chenfeng's sleeve, asking if he still wanted her around. Mu Chenfeng remained calm and focused. Kunlun is more dangerous than you think. Everyone here must first learn to protect themselves. Keeping a known rival close is better than watching your back constantly, he explained. He patted Yuya's shoulder and asked, I don't think Wu Neng can stop them all alone. Can I trust you with this? Blushing, Yuya vowed to do her absolute best for him. As the group moved on, she prayed to the gods, wondering if Chenfeng was a savior sent from heaven. Mu Chenfeng ignored the stairs, focusing on the path ahead. The greatest danger in Kunlun is the soul-eating miasma that lingers everywhere. That miasma attacks the spirit directly. So be extremely careful, he warned. He asked Liu Chen if the previous team had faced this, but she wasn't sure. Mu Chenfeng admitted he didn't fully trust Yuya, yet noting that if she didn't listen, she would be left behind in the ruins forever. They soon stumbled upon a skeleton holding a weathered photograph of a happy family. Mu Chenfeng picked it up and realized these were the original members of the legendary Team Alpha. Liu Chen's eyes filled with tears as she recognized a familiar face. Sister Hong, I've been searching for you for so long, she whispered. Mu Chenfeng gently handed her the photo, watching her heart break as the memories returned. She remembered being captured by an elite from the Eagle Country years ago. While locked in a small cage, she had watched their aggressive soldiers training outside like heartless machines. An older bald man had once brought her a plate of food, but back then she was far too angry to accept his pity and spat right in his face to show her defiance. "You only caught me because you had the numbers," she hissed through gritted teeth. A soldier lost his temper, pressing a gun to her head and screaming that he wanted to end her right then and there. "Let me kill her, Captain," he roared, but the bald man knocked the weapon away. "Our priority is the genetic research from Kunlun. We need locals to get inside, so don't be a fool." Frustrated, the soldier fired a shot into the air and cursed loudly. The bald man calmly offered the food again, promising she would be safe until the mission was complete. Lu Chen just kicked the plate away, refusing to touch a bite, while cursing her captors with every breath. "Even if I die, I'm taking you down with me," she vowed. The captain just sighed as he walked out. "Team Alpha has taken many of my men. You'd better hope I live a long time, or your end will be very painful." Back on the battlefield, Hu Ji was mocking his opponents. "You want to kill a member of Team Alpha? You'd have better luck in your dreams," he laughed. In an instant, he wiped out the entire group with ease. The bald captain stared in shock as his men fell. How did you find us?" he gasped. Before he could get an answer, a spear suddenly pierced through his chest from behind. "Finding you on our land is easy," a cold voice rang out. "Anyone who offends our nation will be destroyed no matter where they hide." The girl then lunged forward, pointing her blade directly at the target. You're strong, but the result won't be the same next time," she panted. Mu Chenfeng just waved his hand, summoning 1,000 spectral swords behind him. "There won't be a next time." Meanwhile, things were finally settling at Wu Neng's home. "Did you hear something?" Wu Neng asked, looking around. He turned to his wife with concern. "Are you and our son okay? Is our little guy safe? We're fine, just focus on healing your wounds," his wife said, placing the baby in his cradle. But then a terrifying blue aura erupted from her body. "They've made me angry. If the ancestors said stay out of Kunlun, then no one gets to leave." Wu Neng's body also began to glow with a bright yellow energy. He looked at his wife and smiled. "All right, honey, let's activate the 4th layer of Kunlun and finish this together. We're a team through thick and thin," she said, taking his hand. "Even if we become ordinary people after this," he laughed. "I'll just open a fortune-telling stand to support us. We can go fishing and eat noodles. That's a real life. When our boy grows up, we'll teach him how to cultivate so the family line stays strong." Wu Neng added. Their auras merged beautifully as the wife sighed. "It's a pity, though. Once the 4th layer opens, the Kunlun realm will be gone forever." Our heroic couple finally crossed the threshold. Is this our family's great destiny? Wu Neng's eyes sharpened with purpose. This mysterious Mu Chenfeng likely holds the secret path to the legendary Penglai. Meanwhile, back at the other side of things, Mu Chenfeng prepared for a legendary clash against the girl named Ying. He boasted that no one in the Long Kingdom could ever defeat him. Suddenly, a fierce wall of fire erupted, completely encircling the young girl in a blazing inferno. Mu Chenfeng shouted for the women to retreat 10 steps immediately. Sensing a shift in the air, he prepared for a brutal fight. The flames intensified, leaving everyone breathless as they stared up at the incredible and terrifying display. She lifted her sword, attempting to absorb the mystical flames. Mu Chenfeng realized this demon blade had already gained its own spirit. Given enough growth, its power could eventually rival the legendary Qi Condensation Realm's supreme energy levels. Mu Chenfeng extended his hand, summoning a radiant stream of light within his palm. Had the spiritual aura of Kunlun shifted? From afar, the blazing fire collided violently with Ying's dark and oppressive demonic energy in a grand spectacle. Suddenly, the fire vanished, and peace returned, as if nothing happened, leaving everyone stunned. Li Sisi asked where they had all gone. Mu Chenfeng simply shook his head and urged the group to keep moving forward into the unknown. The group found themselves surrounded by countless intricate sword formations. Mu Chenfeng warned everyone to stay alert. He noted that the mysterious fog attacked the soul itself, making the protection of the Peachwood sword absolutely essential for survival. Looking back, they saw ninjas groaning on the ground. Mu Chenfeng picked up a discarded spear from Team A. What was once a basic tool had become a magical artifact in this zone, possessing immense and soul-shattering power. Mu Chenfeng handed the weapon to Liu Chen, noting it only stuns high-level Shantian masters. Gritting her teeth, Liu Chen took it, fueled by the memory of Sister Hong always carrying her own weapon into the heat of battle. The scene shifts to Yuzhou, where an elegant young woman appeared. This was Wan Chen, the powerful chairwoman of the Wan Corporation. She entered gracefully, greeting Uncle Liang immediately after her long trip back from the Eagle Country. Uncle Liang was busy brewing tea and noted his old body was still quite sturdy. He offered her some fresh tuna tea from Yongnan County, praising its flavor. Wan Qian smiled and sat down to join him. She asked why he hadn't enjoyed the 500,000 per Jin tea she brought him before. Uncle Liang simply sniffed the air and admitted he threw it away, as he only truly enjoys fine domestic products. Wan Qian enjoyed the aroma, agreeing it was wonderful tea. She then offered him a box of genetically modified coffee from the Eagle Country. She insisted that this trendy new drink actually had a very delightful and modern taste. Uncle Liang laughed, explaining that he preferred the ancient things left by his ancestors over these new inventions. His tone then turned serious as he asked if she was still friends with Mr. John from Wilson Pharmaceuticals. Wan Qian's heart skipped a beat, but she calmly claimed it was just a standard business relationship. Since the Wilson Group is world famous, making money together seemed like a smart move. She watched Uncle Liang's reaction carefully. She noted that any deal required Uncle Xia's approval. Liang remarked that Xia's tastes had changed lately, even preferring foreign snacks over traditional buns. Perhaps his long illness made him want to try something completely new and different. It was a shame they noticed his change in taste so late. Wan Qian predicted Uncle Liang would soon take Xia's position. She playfully asked for more tea, reminding him of her childhood love for his snacks. Liang promised to send tea to her car. When Wan Qian tried to take back her coffee gift, he stopped her. He suggested that while the elderly might not like it, the younger generation should try new things. He mused that one should always try to combine Eastern and Western cultures. Wan Qian gave a polite, respectful bow to bid him farewell before preparing to make her exit and head back to her car. She promised to visit again and walked out. Once she had departed, Uncle Liang turned his attention to his aide, Hu Huangli, with a sharp look that suggested he had a very specific plan in mind. He told Xiao Hu to personally ensure the tea reached her hands. Meanwhile, the modern coffee was gifted to an intern. Outside, someone opened the door for Wan Qian as she approached her luxury vehicle to leave. Xiao Hu ran out with the tea packets, but Wan Qian acted quite cold. Despite her impatience, he insisted on personally handing her the gift, as Director Liang had given him very specific and firm instructions. Wan Qian's expression turned icy as she irritably snatched the 2 tea packets. Without saying another word, she stepped into her car and sped off into the distance, leaving the staff standing there in her wake. Inside the car, a frustrated Wan Qian ordered all operations to be canceled immediately. When asked about the superhuman team, she snapped that she didn't want to die like old man Jia, preferring to stay young. She realized the company's old guards were far too clever. Elsewhere, a lonely intern named Tianwan Yu was walking and eating ice cream. She sighed, wishing she could go have a grand adventure in the Kunlun Mountains. Suddenly, a flashy young man jumped in front of her, trying to be charming, but Wan Yu, her mouth still full of delicious ice cream, just mumbled back at him while she continued to chew her sweet treat. She told him she wasn't naive at all. Another guy appeared, with roses trying to grab her attention, but she simply turned and walked away coldly, leaving both men looking completely confused by her sudden departure. The man's roses suddenly transformed into a simple spring onion, leaving him terrified. Wan Yu laughed, calling it a basic childhood trick. Suddenly, a large woman grabbed him, accusing the guy of stealing her fresh vegetables and demanding justice. Wan Yu continued walking until she received a call from Brother Hu. Finally, some excitement. He informed her that the superhuman team from the Eagle Country was arriving in Kunlun, and her mission was to take them down. Wan Yu giggled into her phone, asking if she should take them all out. The voice on the other end told her to leave just one survivor, but the rest were hers to play with. She chirped back a sweet thank you to Brother Hu, promising him some candy when they met again. Suddenly, a noisy brat came charging at her, shouting insults. He rudely demanded she stay and drink with him, clearly unaware of who he was bothering. Before he could finish his threat, she snatched him by the collar and hoisted him into the air. She politely suggested they take their little party down into the water together. The poor fellow started bawling his eyes out, snot and tears flying everywhere, as he dangled helplessly, terrified by her incredible strength. With a giant splash, he went flying into the lake. The young man wailed like a baby, splashing around in total panic. As soon as his head broke the surface, he started screaming about seeing a ghost. He looked like he had seen his own funeral right there in the water. He cried out for his mommy, while Wan Yu just popped a candy in her mouth and strolled away with a scoff. How boring. Meanwhile, out on the highway, a mysterious convoy of armored vehicles was speeding toward their next destination. The soldiers inside were geared up for a major battle. They were approaching Kunlun Mountain, the site where the superhuman team was wiped out 10 years ago. These Eagle Country warriors were determined to reclaim their lost honor and finish the mission once and for all. A nervous soldier mentioned they could not reach Miss Wan Qian, But the captain was not worried at all. He figured she was just staying low since they were currently in Long Kingdom territory. He boasted that as genetically modified warriors, they were invincible anyway. Little did they know young Tian Wanyu had been keeping a very close eye on them from the shadows. She tightened a shimmering silk thread between her fingers with a playful but decisive smile. She whispered that she had been waiting for them and hoped they would not be too boring. The convoy continued to roar down the road, completely unaware of the deadly trap waiting ahead. Suddenly, a car was sliced clean in half like a piece of paper. The soldiers did not even have time to scream before meeting their maker. Metal debris flew everywhere as the cars behind them slammed on their brakes, barely avoiding the same fate. It was a total disaster zone in seconds. A panicked soldier jumped out of his vehicle, yelling that they were under attack. He scrambled to get everyone out of the cars before the next strike hit. Meanwhile, deep inside a dark cave, Mu Chenfeng and his lovely companions were continuing their dangerous journey. Protected by a glowing sword formation, the group moved forward peacefully until a massive hand blocked their path. The girls were stunned. Mu Chenfeng swung his blade, clashing with the giant hand in a violent explosion that shook the entire cave floor. Even Mu Chenfeng was a bit surprised by the strength of the attack. He warned the girls that this mist was actually attacking their souls. Thankfully, his peach wood sword was keeping them safe. He noted that the deeper they traveled, the more intense this spiritual pressure became. Liu Chen was not scared at all, pointing out that Team A had survived this place years ago. Mu Chenfeng simply flicked his finger, sending his magical peach wood sword flying straight into the thick fog to scout ahead. He remained perfectly calm despite the rising danger. He explained that the heirs of the Long Kingdom usually carried high-level artifacts for protection. However, those items only kept them alive temporarily. He suspected Team A was weakened by the mountain energy before being ambushed by ninjas. Liu Chen vowed that none of those enemies would escape her wrath this time. After walking a bit further, they found a strange mound with a fox resting near a stone pillar. The pillar was pulsing with incredible spiritual energy that filled the room. Right at the top sat a mysterious wooden box that seemed to hold a great secret. Mu Chenfeng wondered if this was Granny Hui's true form as a green aura exploded around his body. He politely asked the girls to step back while he checked out the box. Worried he was being too reckless, Li Sisi grabbed his hand and begged him to be careful. Mu Chenfeng stayed focused, telling her not to worry, because this soul-invading power could not touch him. He stepped toward the pillar with total confidence. Secretly, he knew his greatest weapon was his primordial soul that was even more ancient than the dawn of time itself. As he got closer, the wooden box began to leak wisps of smoke, creating a heavy sense of oppression. Mu Chenfeng did not hesitate and reached out to lift the lid. He was eager to see what kind of mysterious object was hidden inside that ancient container. Before he could peek inside, the box erupted in a massive explosion of thick smoke. The girls screamed in terror as Li Sisi rushed forward. She barked orders for Yulin to protect Zhengqi while the gray chaos unfolded around them. Inside the cloud, Mu Chenfeng stood his ground against the gray mist. He summoned his ancient sword chain, commanding the blades to form a defensive array. He emerged from the fog as his swords plunged into the earth, creating a powerful spiritual barrier. A fierce gale kicked up, trapping the gray mist within the circle of peachwood swords. The girls rushed to his side, staring at the swirling energy in wonder. They could not help but ask if the strange mist was actually a living creature. Yulin cheered for her amazing brother Feng as he finally opened the wooden box. Inside was a terrifying severed half of a fish that looked quite spooky. It was a creature from the Void River which led to the legendary northern underworld. Li Sisi stared at it, frozen in horror. Liu Chen explained that the northern underworld was a divine realm where the kun fish lived. Once they cultivate enough, they become the legendary kun peng birds. This creature was the Void, devouring kun, a fish that was both deadly poisonous and incredibly nourishing. Legend says eating it can grant instant immortality or cure any disease. It was truly a priceless treasure. Suddenly, Liu Chen grew angry, realizing this monster was the reason Team A lost their lives. As she prepared to destroy the fish with her spear, Mu Chenfeng quickly stopped her. He pointed out that such a rare treasure should be preserved regardless of its dark history. Mu Chenfeng carefully wrapped the box in a clean white cloth. He handed it to Liu Chen, saying it was only fair she keep it since her team died for it. He told her the choice to keep or destroy it was hers alone to make. Lu Chen clutched the box to her chest and wept silently. Mu Chenfeng turned to Li Sisi and gently told her not to be jealous of the gift. He reminded her that real power comes from within, not from magical objects you find in a cave. He teased that Yulin was much more level-headed than her, leaving Li Sisi feeling a bit dejected. She could not help but dream about the immortality the fish could bring. Even if she could not have it, just looking at it was a treat. Mu Chenfeng just smiled at her. He warned that owning such a prize would bring trouble from many greedy rivals. Meanwhile, on the 4th level of Kunlun, an old man was being carried by men in black. A female warrior stood guard against the creeping mist. Beside her, Yuya asked nervously where they were. Suddenly, a flash of golden light pierced a ninja. Before he could even let out a scream, the female warrior shouted for everyone to move immediately. She warned them that the mist was attacking their souls and they could not withstand its power for long. They charged through the mist, knowing this area was not in any of their secret intelligence reports. She feared they might all die here in this unknown place. She turned back to her team with a serious look on her face. She reminded them that they would always be the most loyal warriors of Jiaxia. Her soldiers shouted back with pride, swearing to give their lives for their country. But as their cheers faded, another golden light struck, instantly silencing another comrade in the cold darkness. The elderly gentleman cackled, mesmerized by the artifact's glow. "Immortal life is finally mine." Anna simply sighed. "Let's see if you actually survive the next 5 minutes before you start celebrating, shall we?" Our party pushed forward through the brush until a massive river blocked the path. A small, lonely boat waited patiently by the shore. Anna turned to her ninja squad. "Find us a way across. I'll watch your backs." 2 guards surged with dark energy, sprinting gracefully across the water's surface like true pros. "Anna, something feels off," Yuya whispered. Anna shrugged, mentioning their duty as brave warriors. Suddenly, a massive shadow hand emerged, crushing the ninjas before they could even scream. Panic flared in Anna's eyes as she realized the river was a complete void. "The mist is attacking our souls," she cried. "Is this really a game over for us?" "Code, nobody stops a warrior of Jiaxia," Anna roared, slashing her blade at the ghostly hand. "Gods or demons, I'll cut them all down." She then turned toward Yuya. "Carry him, we're moving now." Yuya hauled the old man up and leaped toward the far bank. "Man, you really need a diet," he wheezed. The old man just grinned. "I'll definitely give your career a boost for this," he joked. Yuya snapped back. "Forget it. Your greed cost our friends their lives." Suddenly vibrant, green energy pulsed ahead. Anna sensed a strange disturbance in the Kunlun secret realm. "Something isn't right," she muttered. Meanwhile, back with Mu Chenfeng, the group gathered around a mysterious burial mound. Mu revealed a white cloth stating, "No immortals exist in this world." Li Sisi's jaw hit the floor. "Wait, no immortals? Is our entire cultivation journey a lie?" Mu smirked confidently. "He barely reached the next level. He knows nothing." Li Sisi sighed, "But he was a legend. Is our generation's hard work just a big joke?" "The path is infinite," Mu said, patting her shoulder. "He missed the true source of power. Don't overthink it. Just focus on your own level-up journey for now." Boom. A massive explosion rocked the earth. Out of the smoke, Yuya and Anna appeared, with Yuya still lugging the old man around like a heavy backpack. Lu Chen lunged forward with her spear. "No escape this time." Anna parried the strike easily. "Many have tried to finish me, honey, but I'm still standing." Furious Lu Chen unleashed a flurry of lightning-fast strikes. "Shut up and die!" Mu Chenfeng just watched from the sidelines, casually grading their combat performance like a pro. Her moves look simple, but carry massive physical damage. Mu explained to Yulin, "Watch closely. This is a perfect free combat lesson for your growth." The spear shattered the cliffside, sending debris flying everywhere. Li Sisi stared with her mouth wide open, stunned by the sheer power of their high-level exchange. "She's easily top tier," Mu noted. "She only lost before because her gear wasn't upgraded. Now that she has a proper weapon, she's a total beast in battle." "Anna's about to lose," Mu stated calmly. Anna screamed back, "Don't get cocky. I've still got plenty of tricks up my sleeve to take you down." Anna unleashed a massive wave of spiritual fire. "Time for your liberation," she yelled, but Lu Chen performed a perfect dodge, avoiding the flames with ease. Lu Chen was actually impressed by the flame skill. Anna, seeing her best attack fail so easily, ground her teeth in pure, speechless frustration. "Excellent energy control." Mu applauded. "She's just one step away from the peak stage. Yulin, take notes if you want to level up properly." Following a massive blast, the smoke cleared to reveal Liu Chen's spear at Anna's throat. "Ready to meet your maker, or do you have more jokes?" Anna ground her teeth, using her blade to desperately block the spear. Seizing a tiny opening, she used a speed buff to vanish into the distance. "Save me, I'll pay 100 billion, the old man wailed as Anna fled. Mu stepped forward, smiling. Choice time. Do you want a disastrous path or a friend? Yuya tossed the man aside like a bag of laundry. I've always wanted to be your friend, Brother Chenfeng. She cheered, skipping over to join his party. Yuya pointed a cold finger at the old man. He's been working with the enemy all along. He's the one responsible for the tragedy 10 years ago. You traitor, the old man shrieked. Mu shot back. You sacrificed your own people for your selfish desires. Tell me who's the real traitor here, Pops. I just wanted to live, he roared. The doctors failed me, so I'll use the void-devouring kun to heal my cancer. What's wrong with surviving? The old man laughed maniacally, claiming he protected the country. Mu sighed. You're delusional. Everyone faces death. It's just part of the natural cycle, my friend. I control my own fate, he screamed, lunging madly for the wooden box. To hell with heaven and earth. I'm taking this power for myself. He gulped down the fish. As Li Sisi watched in horror, Mu stopped her, replying calmly. Don't bother. Without that, he had months. Now he has minutes. It seems our elderly friend is rather impatient for the afterlife. He greedily gulped down the fish, hoping for a miracle, but only found a disaster. Breaking out in a frantic sweat, he stammered, Oh goodness, what is happening to me? Meanwhile, Mu Chenfeng strolled in with his lovely Ice Maiden retinue. In this magic-starved era, such power is just a deadly toxin for the uninitiated. Mu Chenfeng stepped closer with a polite, terrifying grin. Over the next week, your body will slowly wither away, feeling as if 10,000 bugs are snacking on your vitals, tee-hee. The old man shuddered, reaching out a shaky hand. Please, Mu Chenfeng, I will give you everything. Just end my misery right now. I am begging you. Our hero simply turned his back, unmoved. You have sown far too much evil, and now your harvest is here. I will not grant you a quick exit. Enjoy your quiet time in this dark hole. With that, the group headed out. Yulin tilted her head, asking, Young master, was not that void-devouring kun a bit too high quality to waste on that meanie? Mu Chenfeng did not mind the lost snack, instead asking a deep question. Yulin, what does suffering mean to you? The girl blinked in surprise. Oh, I have no idea, young master. I just know that I will do absolutely anything you ask of me, no questions asked. I simply want to stay by your side forever and ever. At her sugary words, Mu Chenfeng turned back, his eyes crinkling into happy little crescents. Well, with such a sweet companion, what could I possibly regret in this life? Yulin nodded enthusiastically, her joy practically radiating off her. Young master. It clicks now. Everything follows. The Tao, the dance of the stars, the rhythm of the seasons, and the balance of the rivers. Even the wind and snow move in harmony with the great flow of life and death. It is all part of one big, beautiful cosmic order. Mu Chenfeng raised a finger, sharing some sage wisdom. Thinking too much leads to a boring life. Just remember, stay true to your heart. That original spark is the only way to reach your true Tao. Yulin stood there, completely lost. Young master? That was a bit too smart for me again. I am confused. He gave her hair a playful ruffle and laughed. No worries, just stay close and keep leveling up. You will get it eventually. The party finally emerged from the cave, finding themselves still deep within the fourth layer of the legendary Kunlun Mountains. Two figures were locked in a fierce duel by the riverbank. Mu Chenfeng stopped to watch the show while Yulin hopped with worry. Oh no, young master! We have to help Sister Liu Chen! Nearby, Li Sisi was already reaching for her silver needles, ready to jump into the fray. Master Mu, let me assist, she offered, but Mu Chenfeng raised a hand, stopping them both. Let her be. Liu Chen is blinded by her past. If she does not settle this herself, her cultivation will surely suffer. Across the way, Anna was spamming dark energy blasts, but Liu Chen held her ground with her trusty spear. Mu Chenfeng crossed his arms, looking like a pro commentator. Anna is rushing it. If she kept her cool, she might have lasted 10 more rounds. Yulin tilted her head. But master, she looks tough. Will she really lose that fast? Mu Chenfeng smirked. In a duel of experts, one tiny mistake is all it takes. This Anna was raised as a weapon, and that sword is her only trick. But Liu Chenxi survived the literal trenches of Team A. Watch closely, Yulin. In this next exchange, Anna is history. Just then, a lethal energy beam shot toward Liu Chen. Before the words even settled, Liu Chen lunged forward with a fierce spear strike. Anna barely leaped out of the way as the spear pierced the mountain, causing a massive explosion. Thinking she had the upper hand, Anna let out a confident shout. You threw your weapon away. How will you fight me now? Prepare to meet your maker, she screamed. But Liu Chen just smiled, her inner energy swirling like a fox spirit. A weapon. You think I need a piece of metal to take you down. In this form, my entire body is a divine tool. Liu Chen grabbed Anna's arm, and a creepy black vein began to crawl up the ninja's skin. Anna panicked, shoving Liu Chen back before the corruption could spread any further. 10 long years I have waited to prune you, Jiaxia weeds, Liu Chen declared, charging back in. Consider your death an act of justice. In a flash, she was right in Anna's face, delivering a heavy-duty punch straight to the chest. The impact was so great that Anna's sword clattered to the floor. The poor girl looked absolutely terrified as her defeat became reality. Mother, did I fail your final wish? Anna whispered. Suddenly, Mu Chenfeng appeared out of thin air, casually picking up the fallen blade. As he touched it, a spooky ninja soul flickered within. Selling your soul to a piece of steel. Now that is just crazy talk. Mu Chenfeng lifted the blade and Anna gave a bitter laugh. The power of Gui Che is too much for a human like you to handle. Our hero just chuckled, holding the cursed sword high. Oh, you think this little toothpick can challenge me? Anna knelt, gasping for air. I cannot believe a foreigner has such a high bond with our legendary demonic blade. Please, treat it with respect. Mu Chenfeng just laughed. How cute you think I care about this junk. With a satisfying snap, he broke the legendary sword in two. Anna's jaw hit the floor. What a impossible. Mu Chenfeng didn't even look back. This is the Shuhe River right. If we hitch a boat downstream, we will find the northern underworld and the path to Penglai's immortal realm. Suddenly, Liu Chen lunged at Mu Chenfeng with her spear. I am so sorry, Mu Chenfeng, she yelled. But he didn't even flinch, casually catching the spear mid-air with his bare hand. A dark look crossed his face. Do not make me hurt you, Liu Chen. With a flick of his wrist, he sent her spinning like a top. The poor girl's head was probably ringing like a church bell after that move. The two clashed in a blur of punches and kicks, their energy causing mini explosions everywhere. Liu Chen hopped onto a nearby boat, striking a cool pose. For 10 years, I have learned that only the strongest survive. I will not let what happened to Team A happen again. Master Mu, I really like you, so please do not get in my way. Mu Chenfeng just waved her off, looking quite amused. You stop me. Now that is a funny joke. As he watched her on the boat, he thought, I finally have a lead on Penglai. I should wrap this up quickly. From the sidelines, Anna sighed. You are scarily strong, Mu Chenfeng. Even the masters back home would be shaking in their boots. Black veins were now tracing patterns across Anna's skin. She gave a sad little laugh. We spent so much time plotting only for a newcomer to take the prize. How embarrassing. Mu Chenfeng walked over to her, his shadow looming large. Are you laughing at me? He asked politely. Anna looked up with hazy eyes. I am already a ghost. What is there to fear? In response, Mu Chenfeng delivered a massive punch that sent her flying right into the cliffside, leaving a deep crater. I am sure there are other ways to reach Penglai, he muttered coldly. Meanwhile, back at the cozy offices of No Overtime LLC, Director Liang was enjoying a nice cup of tea. This brew is quite exquisite today, he noted with a smile. Just then, Hu Huangli burst through the door with some news. Director Liang Miss Wan has officially left for the far north. The director set his cup down gently. The Wan group just needs to stay out of trouble for now. Hu Huangli then handed over a folder. Here is the list of those illegal super soldiers who snuck into the country. As Director Liang flipped through the pages, Hu Huangli explained, These guys are all modified by the Vixen group. They are roughly as strong as Huqian masters. The name John caught the director's eye, making him pause. Meet John, their captain, a man whose raw power could easily challenge an ascended master. He noted that while little Wan Yu is a prodigy, she's still a peak-level mortal and quite young. Director Liang sipped his tea, explaining that Wan Yu hails from a legendary line of stage magicians, though to the uninitiated, it's much more than just simple illusions. Traditional stage magic is split into two secret arts, the Grand C and the Lesser C. The Grand C requires ancient manuals that few, even in our company, have mastered. As for the Lesser C, its unique tricks are more than enough to handle things. Hu Huangli politely poured more tea for the old man as he continued. Director Liang, I'm just worried Wan Yu might be outmatched, Hu admitted. Liang took a slow sip before replying, Old Sha isn't coming back and every branch is hungry for his seat. I want to show the world that we don't just rely on Mu Chenfeng. A young girl can be just as legendary. Director Liang stepped closer, his voice soft yet firm. Little Hu, our world has been peaceful for too long. Even our shareholders are starting to prefer bitter coffee over our fine tea. Patting the young man's shoulder, he added, "We need a grand display of power. If we don't strike the tiger, the monkeys will never learn. By now, Wanyu should be greeting the superhuman team. Go ahead and send a car to pick the girl up once she's done." Little Hu bowed politely. "Understood, Director Liang. I'll take care of it immediately." With a quick nod, he hurried out the door to fulfill the request. Watching him go, Director Liang savored his tea with a satisfied click of his tongue. Ah, our traditional flavor is still the most fragrant. Meanwhile, back on the battlefield, Wanyu was still playfully dealing with a group of thugs. She had a bald guy in a confident chokehold teasing him playfully. "You guys should really try harder. If I'm not having fun, then nobody is." Suddenly a man lunged forward, his blade whistling through the air in a wide arc as he let out a frantic battle cry. "Just die already," he screamed. His blade sliced through a straw decoy, a truly chilling sight. But Wanyu had already vanished, reappearing right behind him with a cheeky grin. "Over here. Come on, keep up or you'll never catch me." The thug was forced to his knees, spinning around to curse at his boss. "Damn it, I cut its leg off, Captain. Now's your chance." Before he could finish his sentence, Wanyu delivered a swift kick that sent him tumbling away with a miserable yelp. The last man standing gripped his hilt, charging Wanyu with a murderous glare. "You Long Kingdom brat, how dare you go to hell!" As he swung his blade, Wanyu casually pulled one of his allies in the way, letting the poor guy meet his maker without a single word. She giggled, behind her hand, looking shocked. "Oh my, are you really that heartless toward your own teammates?" Folding her hands neatly behind her back, she looked at the remaining duo. "Captain of the superhuman team. I suppose your reputation isn't entirely made up after all." Staring at her, the two men were frozen in pure terror, unable to process her overwhelming strength. Who are you? We've never even heard of you." Wanyu gave them a cool, calm look. "I'm just a simple girl who enjoys performing a little stage magic. The superhuman team is so famous it's only natural and nobody like me hasn't crossed your radar," she said. Wanyu just smiled as she flicked her wrists, sending glowing threads darting toward them. In a heartbeat, the bald goon was tied up like a holiday roast, squealing in terror. "From this moment on," she whispered with a wink, "you'll never forget my name." Haha, seeing his partner taken down so easily, the other man realized he had no choice but to fight to the bitter end. "This is impossible!" he roared frantically, slashing his sword at her with everything he had left. "I am a triple S rank warrior. There is no way I could lose to a girl like you." Wanyu simply tilted her head, looking puzzled. "I don't really get all those fancy ranks. How about I just show you my favorite magic trick instead?" Her movements were like a graceful dance, parrying every strike with effortless ease. The man's eyes widened in disbelief. "Wait, an ascended master? Is this the Xiantian realm? Take this!" He lunged again, desperate to land a single hit. But his skills were no match for her. In a flash, Wanyu snatched the knife right out of his hand. Leveling the blade at his neck, she teased, "See that I can take your weapon or I can take your life." She let out a soft, elegant chuckle. "Come on now, big brother, let's play a little longer." The old man, shaken by her sheer power, was sweating bullets. If he hadn't jumped back when he did, his lungs would have been shredded. Wanyu sighed. Having power is one thing, but not knowing how to use it just makes you weak. She flicked her fingers, and her magic threads instantly bound him tight. "I learned this principle when I was only 10 years old. Honestly, what do you people even think about? Wrapped up like a festive dumpling." He gnashed his teeth. "Fine, I'll leave the country right now and never come back. Just spare me." Wanyu didn't care, dragging him along the ground like a stray dog while he begged for mercy. "Money, I'll give you everything I own." Wanyu looked down with total disgust. "I thought you were strong, but you're actually quite boring. Did you really think you could buy me off?" Without another word, Wanyu dragged her prize away. Time to go home. Meanwhile, Director Liang sat comfortably in his office watching the entire performance unfold on his monitors with a satisfied smirk. After a moment, he turned to Hu Huangli. "Has the footage been sent to the other branches yet?" Little Hu checked his tablet and replied, "It's already synced, sir. However, the other regional offices have their own talented interns. I'm a bit worried about the competition." Liang looked up, appearing slightly surprised. "Worried? Why, I don't care about their opinions. As long as we keep things stable and stick to our common sense approach, everything will be fine." He tapped his screen and asked, "Any word from Mu Chenfeng yet?" "Yes, nothing yet," Little Hu replied. "But honestly, with his power, not even Japan's Ning family could touch him." He looked back at the director. "What about Wu Wuneng and Tan Xiaoqing? Should we bring them in? They are rare talents for the nation." Liang laughed. They belong to the Zhengyi Dao lineage. We shouldn't steal from them. Letting those seniors handle the talent is for the best. Somewhere else, two bickering old masters were deep in thought. The senior brother asked, Junior, do you feel that... The younger one nodded immediately. Senior, the 4th level of Kunlun has been triggered and the path to Penglai is wide open. Mu Chenfeng definitely won't miss this chance. The senior brother stroked his long beard, looking thoughtful. Do you really think he can cross the Zhu River to reach Penglai? The junior brother scoffed. Of course, that kid might act polite, but he's ruthless when he wants something. Once he sets his mind on a goal, nobody can stop him. Taking a step forward, the elder brother spoke without looking back. Over 20 ninjas and international agents are gathering at Kunlun. Even the superhuman team from the United States is moving. It's anyone's game. Just make sure that couple returns to the Zhengyi Dao. Their bloodline comes from Celestial Master Yu himself. I'd say, I'll send little Hu to get them. The junior brother agreed, then hesitated. But what if he fails to cross the river? What if he never reaches Penglai? The elder brother kept walking, hands behind his back. That is the only way forward. I've warned him of the risks. Now his fate is in his own hands. Suddenly, the river's surface erupted like a massive explosion. Was it a quake? No, it was just Mu Chenfeng and his beautiful companions making a grand entrance. They glided over the water with breathtaking speed, leaving the spectators on the shore shouting and screaming in absolute shock as if a world war had just broken out. Gasping for air, once they reached the shore, Yulin groaned in exhaustion. We finally made it out. Mu Chenfeng turned to the girls, his expression serious. I didn't expect the activation of Kunlun's 4th level to seal off every single exit like that. If we hadn't found that hidden path, we would have been stuck in there forever. Zheng Qi looked at him expectantly. What's the plan now, Master Mu? Mu Chenfeng clenched his fist, his eyes burning. Someone dared to steal my destiny. In all my years, I have never been this furious. Seeing his anger, Yulin spoke up softly to comfort him. Please don't be upset, young master. It's not good for your health. We'll find another way to Penglai. I'll stay by your side no matter what. Mu Chenfeng softened, patting her head affectionately. Good girl, come on, we're heading to the Zhengyi Dao next. Just then, Wan Yu came scurrying over, dragging her captive along. She waved frantically, whining about being left to suffer all alone. Mu Chenfeng just smirked, resting his chin on his hand. Weren't you that monkey-dancing intern from the branch? He joked. Just call the office. They'll collect you soon enough. The girl's eyes widened as she slapped her forehead in realization. Oh, how could I be so slow? She chirped. Mu Chenfeng chuckled, then turned his focus toward Li Sisi. Still have me in your thoughts, Master Mu, she purred. He skipped the pleasantries, getting straight to business. Yulin would stay with him while the others headed back. He then tasked Zheng Qi with seeing the young lady home safely. Li Sisi crossed her arms, giving Zheng Qi a playful glance. My Master Mu certainly knows how to treat a lady, she teased. Consider it handled. It's a simple favor. Zheng Qi bowed gracefully, her voice filled with genuine gratitude. But Mu Chenfeng's gaze turned icy as he delivered a parting warning. Don't overstep your bounds, he cautioned. As the sole Zheng heir, your life is far too precious to gamble. Zheng Qi lowered her gaze, her heart heavy with unspoken sorrow. Li Sisi watched her, offering a blunt piece of sisterly advice. Some dreams are better left as memories, she whispered. Don't break your own heart chasing the impossible. I know, Zheng Qi sighed. He's like a star I can never reach. Li Sisi flicked her hair with a confident, flirtatious air. Honey, you're outmatched in power, background, and definitely charm, she said. Just keep that reality tucked away in your heart. Come on, let's head back to Yuzhu, Li Sisi declared. Meanwhile, the scene shifts to the misty base of Longhu Mountain. After a long journey, she finally stood on familiar ground once more. The world is changing, and peace is becoming a rare luxury. If I gain the support of the sect, the corporation is mine, she mused. Suddenly, a group of mysterious men in black blocked her path. Their leader stepped forward with a formal yet firm invitation. Chairwoman Wan, our young lady requests your presence immediately. The Wu family is quite bold, she snorted, unimpressed by the ambush. Even grounded little Shofan manages to stir up trouble. Her bodyguard tensed, ready to clear a path for an escape. Miss, I'll hold them off while you make a run for it. The leader simply bowed, gesturing toward a sleek car behind him. We are merely following orders, Chairwoman, he said politely. 160 sighed, knowing there was no point in resisting Xiaofan's whims. Wait here, she told her guard. I'll handle this. She arrived at a quaint tea house with a simple sign hanging above. Pushing the door open, a young man greeted her and pulled out a chair. There sat Wu Xiaofan, looking as though she'd been waiting for ages. The atmosphere was tense, yet strangely calm between the two women. "Sure. Quite the grand entrance, Xiaofan," Wan Xixi remarked as she sat. "Aren't you worried about your father's temper?" Xiaofan's expression remained unreadable as she dropped a bombshell. "Uncle Xia is gone and a storm is brewing within the company. My father is too busy with internal chaos to worry about me." A waiter approached, breaking the tension with a polite bow. "What can I get for you, ma'am?" "An Americano light ice and absolutely no sugar," Xixi ordered. The server blinked, looking completely caught off guard by the request. "I'm so sorry, miss, but we only serve traditional tea here." Xiaofan chuckled, teasing her rival's foreign preferences. With a grin, "You've been abroad too long, Sister Xixi. You've forgotten our ways. This is Longhu Mountain. You won't find fancy coffee here." Xixi tried to pivot, asking for a high-grade Longjing instead, but the server just apologized, admitting they were a humble shop. Xiaofan rolled her eyes and ordered 2 glasses of chrysanthemum tea. "You really need to cool that fiery temper of yours," Xiaofan teased. "I doubt Director Liang has been able to help you chill out." Xixi's face flushed as she realized she was being toyed with. "How long have you been stalking me exactly?" she snapped. Xiaofan calmly sipped her tea, her poise absolutely perfect. "The whole company knows about that special coffee you gave the director." Xixi looked startled, her secret move apparently common knowledge now. "It's top-tier stuff," she muttered. "Not that I'd expect you to understand." Xiaofan's face tightened as she reminded her of the company's roots. "Don't forget, Yuzhou isn't just about Mu Chenfeng's exploits." Xixi leaned back, crossing her arms with a bored expression. "Is this why you dragged me here to talk shop? Actually, you're just a side quest," Xiaofan said, resting her chin on her hand. "I'm really here for Mu Chenfeng." Xixi scoffed, questioning why everyone was so obsessed with him. "Is that man truly so charming? Or have you just lost your mind?" Xiaofan's face lit up at the mere mention of his name. "You haven't seen his true power, so you couldn't possibly understand." She knew he'd stop by the mountain after his business in Kunlun. "As long as I wait right here, our paths will definitely cross." Xixi stood up, having heard enough of this romantic nonsense. "Play your little love games alone. I have a corporation to run." But Xiaofan's voice turned serious as she issued a final warning. "Sister, stay and finish your tea. You'll need the strength." Xixi ignored her, walking out with her head held high. "The Wu family's overrated," she muttered, heading for her car. Little did she know her world was about to be turned upside down. She stepped toward the waiting vehicle, ready to leave it all behind. Suddenly, Mu Chenfeng arrived, stepping out with a confident stride. "Stay back, Yulin," he instructed. "Don't interfere unless I say so." The two of them marched forward, passing Xixi like a sudden whirlwind. There was an undeniable aura of power radiating from them both. Xixi paused, glancing back at the mysterious young man. "He looks ordinary, yet there's something legendary about him," she thought. Shaking it off, she signaled her bodyguard to follow her up the mountain, but the guard hesitated, a look of pure panic on her face. "Miss, we just received an urgent report from the branch." Xixi turned, her brows furrowing in confusion and annoyance. "What could be so important that it can't wait?" she demanded. The news was about to strike like a bolt from the blue. The new intern from Yuzhou, he wiped out the entire superb team. Xixi nearly collapsed, the shock hitting her like a physical blow. "What did you say?" she screamed, her face turning pale with rage. "Why am I only hearing about this catastrophic failure now?" She stormed back toward the tea house, her heels clicking furiously. Bursting through the door, she found Xiaofan exactly where she left her. The little devil hadn't moved an inch, still sipping her cooling tea. Xixi's heart hammered against her ribs as she confronted the girl. "You knew, didn't you? Why didn't you warn me about the intern?" Just then, Xiaofan's phone chimed with a fresh notification. "Mu Chenfeng has officially arrived at the mountain," the message read. Xiaofan just smiled gracefully, pouring another cup. For her guest. "Sit, sister, have some tea, and calm your racing heart." Xixi's hands trembled as she poured herself a drink, seeking answers. "How do I explain this disaster to the Wakesen group?" she fretted. "Worry about your loyalty to us first," Xiaofan countered coldly. "You dare question me after bringing outsiders into our affairs?" Xiaofan snapped her fingers, the sound echoing in the quiet room. "Many people are unhappy with your choices, myself included. If you don't cool down, you won't survive the mountain's judgment." Suddenly, a mysterious young man entered, drawing everyone's eyes. He wordlessly placed an iPad in front of a stunned Wan Xixi. The screen showed a private meeting that made her blood run cold. The giants of the industry were already deciding her fate. "The elders are currently discussing how to dispose of you," he said. Zixi broke into a cold sweat, her confidence completely shattered. "Why is it so stifling in here?" she gasped, her voice trembling. She turned to Xiaofan, her eyes filled with desperate pleading tears. "What do you want from me? Xiaofan, please, just tell me." Xiaofan stood up, a playful, mischievous glint returning to her eyes. "Take a wild guess," she whispered, leading her toward the mountain. Meanwhile, Mu Chenfeng faced a wall of swords at the temple gates. Mu Chenfeng stepped forward with a polite bow. "Could someone please tell Taoist Master Xuanfeng that Mu Chenfeng is here?" Old Ling Cheng sighed, bowing back. "I'm so sorry, but our master isn't taking visitors right now." Mu Chenfeng glanced back. "Yulin, give me some space." Yulin nodded. "Understood, young master. Please stay safe." Suddenly a loudmouthed disciple rushed out, pointing a finger right at Chenfeng's nose. "Our Zhengyi sect has stood for a millennium. No one forces their way in." He turned to his senior. "Brother, let's teach this guy a lesson first." The senior brother, however, remained perfectly composed. Master Mu's status isn't everything," the senior warned. Suddenly a flash of light blinded him. Mu Chenfeng stood there, a glowing wooden sword leveled at his throat. "I'm only saying this once. Move." The disciples drew their steel and charged, surrounding him in a tight bagua pattern. They weren't playing around. Behold the 6-yang sword formation. "You're trapped now." "Is this the top expert of the Long Kingdom?" One sneered. "You're just a chi condensation level fraud." The senior brother lunged with a sharp slash, but Chenfeng simply leaned back with effortless grace. Chenfeng countered instantly, a swift kick, sending one disciple tumbling and his sword flying. The man looked terrified. The senior brother frowned. "The 6-yang formation is a one-way street, Mu Chenfeng." "Please, I don't want to hurt you." Chenfeng said, his body blurring into a whirlwind of light. Seconds later, the disciples were rolling on the ground, sobbing. "Mommy, help! Everything hurts!" "Stay down. Company business," Chenfeng noted calmly. He gestured to his assistant. "Let's go, Yulin." But before they could take a step, a familiar voice called out his name. "Mu Chenfeng," and out of nowhere, Wu Xiaofan practically tackled him with a giant hug, laughing with pure bubbly joy. "What are you doing here?" Chenfeng asked, bewildered. Xiaofan pouted playfully. "I missed you. Aren't you happy?" Nearby, a woman named Wan Qian pointed. "So is that the guy—" "Do you two have history?" Xiaofan asked curiously. Chenfeng turned to leave, looking annoyed. "Not really. We just bumped into each other at the bottom of the hill." "Hold it." Wan Qian stepped in his path, crossing her arms. "Get me an audience with the masters, and I might actually let you be my friend." Chenfeng didn't even blink. "Move, I don't befriend idiots," he said coldly. Wan Qian turned red with rage. "Listen, your stunts at Kunlun have enemies watching. You need allies, not more trouble." Chenfeng just smirked. "We should be partners for your family's sake," she shouted as he walked away. Chenfeng paused. "Your family handles international trade right. You must be swimming in cash." Wan Qian perked up. "Name your price." Mu Chenfeng leaned in close, his voice a low whisper. "What if I said, I want you—" Wan Qian gasped, blushing furiously as she jumped back. "Are you joking?" she stammered. Chenfeng smiled confidently. "You're the CEO. If I have you, I have the company." Wan Qian fumed, but he just laughed. "Relax, I'm not interested." "$10 billion, Chenfeng stated flatly before walking off. He casually scooped up Wu Xiaofan in his arms and turned back to his assistant with a cool gaze. "Yulin, wait an hour. If the money hits the account, bring her in." Chenfeng then leaped, gliding effortlessly across the cliff stakes. Elsewhere, 2 old masters were having an all-night gaming marathon. I'm done. This matchmaking system is rigged." The younger master roared, literally crushing his phone. The senior master just sipped his tea, looking completely unbothered. "Calm down, it's just a game." The senior chuckled. The other old man slammed the table. "Easy for you to say. I just lost 12 matches in a row. It's impossible to win." The senior master pulled out a shiny new phone and laughed. "Actually, I hit king rank just last night." The junior master gnashed his teeth in pure salty envy. "Enough games," the senior said, turning serious. "We can't let Chenfeng reach the inner mountain. Too late, he's already fought his way through. He's ready to face the whole world." "He's a wild card," the junior master said firmly. "But if he succeeds, our country has a future. We finally have a chance to play chess with the heavens themselves." "That couple is almost here too," the senior added. The junior nodded. They had a run-in with the White Lotus sect, but they'll make it. They're the ones who have to explain things. Let's go greet our talented young guest. The senior master smiled. The two old men stepped outside just as Mu Chenfeng and Wu Xiaofan arrived looking quite proud. Mu Chenfeng didn't mince words. I was starting to think you two were hiding from me. The old masters just laughed, stroking their long white beards. If we didn't come out, you'd have leveled the place, the master joked. Now don't go too far, kid. Mu Chenfeng just gave a dismissive snort and kept walking. The junior master sighed at the boy's attitude. Is that any way to ask for a favor? Wu Xiaofan waved her hands frantically. Please don't be mad, he's just a bit grumpy. We'll donate 10 billion to renovate the mountain, she whispered. The old man's face lit up like a Christmas tree. These old buildings really could use a makeover, couldn't they? What a lovely, sensible girl, Fiao. They cheered, leading her inside for some premium tea. Soon the four of them were settled, comfortably enjoying the fragrant brew. Enough tea, Chenfeng interrupted. How do I get to Penglai? The junior master slammed his cup down. You brat, show some respect to your elders when you're asking for help. Chenfeng's aura suddenly exploded heavy and cold. I'm not in the mood for games, he growled. The air turned frigid and the tea on the table instantly froze solid. The junior brother faced off against Mu Chenfeng. The senior brother noted, We are both so close to the qi condensation realm, yet this tiny gap feels like heaven and earth. The senior brother gave a calming pat to his junior. Nearby, Wu Xiaofan patted Mu Chenfeng's shoulder, whispering, Please try to play nice today, okay? Hearing this, the junior brother exhaled and relaxed. The senior brother stroked his beard. We're just waiting for a guest. Suddenly, a stylish young man arrived and interrupted them. The guests have arrived, master, the young man announced. The senior brother smiled. Right on time, Mu Chenfeng. As for your question, let them give you the answer. Mu Chenfeng gasped. Your cultivation, it's gone. The couple smiled gently. Loss brings gain, young man. We quite enjoy this peaceful, ordinary life. No more dangerous missions for us. The senior brother poured tea with great respect. Our sect will never forget your family's sacrifice. Wu Neng chuckled. I'll happily accept this legendary brew from the celestial master then. Mu Chenfeng watched them closely. Wu Neng peeked at him. You're looking for the path to Penglai, aren't you? Mu Chenfeng stood up and headed out. Actually, I've lost interest. The room erupted in light-hearted laughter as Mu pouted. Even Wu Xiaofan giggled behind her hand. The junior brother jumped up, reaching out. Wait, don't be so rash. Mu turned back, frowning. First you hide secrets, now you won't let me leave. Am I a toy for you to play with? Wu Xiaofan stopped laughing and looked serious. The seniors were a bit naughty, Wu Xiaofan teased. The senior brother laughed it off. Mu sighed. Fine, but this must be a win-win for everyone, understand? Wu Xiaofan hugged Mu, dragging him back. Control that temper. Silly. She beamed at Wu Neng. So handsome, could you please tell us everything you know about the path? I'll personally guarantee your safety on behalf of the Wu family, Xiaofan promised, with a polite nod. Wu Neng glanced at his wife, looking for her silent approval. We just want peace. Wu Neng sighed. There is a secret path in Beiyang leading to the North Sea. Xiaofan blinked. Inland. Mu added, Geology changes over thousands of years. Wu Neng explained, ancient magic hides the island. That's the first hurdle. But the San Miao tribes also live there. Mu rubbed his chin, recalling legends of the Zhuli descendants. The ancients sealed the San Miao away. The senior brother added, but with magic fading, the seal is weak. Breaking the formation now could bring disaster to the whole world. The weight of the world will be on your shoulders, the senior warned. Do you dare... Mu crossed his arms calmly. If any beast blocks me, I'll slice it. Why not keep the secret buried if it's so dangerous? The wife asked. The senior sipped his tea. Spiritual energy is vanishing. We must act while we still can. The junior brother slammed the table. I'd rather be cursed by the future than see the world rot. Mu chuckled. Where was this fiery energy when you were young? Timing is everything. The senior sighed. Mu stood up, heading for the exit. Keep your tea. I have what I need. Xiaofan scurried after him. Hey, wait for me. A very stylish young man named Bai Shuifeng stepped inside. He looked like he had some hidden tricks up his sleeve. Mu eyed the newcomer curiously as he entered. President Wan decided yet? Mu asked. Yulin bowed, looking sad. It wasn't me, young master. Bai Shuifeng smirked. I need $100 billion, and you're helping me. The two faced off. Who are you? Mu asked. I'm Bai Shuifeng, CEO of the Pingyang Group and Qianqian's fiancé. Mu just let out a petty cold sneer. Expect an inspection next week, Mu said. Bai adjusted his glasses. Beiyang isn't your territory. Didn't Director Liang tell you you have zero authority here? Mu turned to Yulin. Do we have that rule? Mu asked. Yulin admitted, we only have authority in the southwest. Bai smoothed his hair. I'm a major shareholder, and the general manager's son. Bai pointed and laughed. You're a complete failure. You'll regret bothering my Qian for the rest of your life. Mu stayed cool. I'll visit your tower next month. Better prepare. You aren't welcome, Bai stammered. Mu brushed past him with a cool side eye. I wasn't asking for your opinion. I was simply informing you. Got it. Mu and Yulin walked out, leaving Bai fuming. You dare threaten me? Bai roared. Mu called back, in the Long Kingdom, absolutely nobody can stop my path. Your tower is a joke. Stop acting, Bob. Mu scoffed, Bai's fists clenched as spiritual energy exploded around him. Xiaofan watched her eyes wide with sudden shock. Without warning, Bai Shuifeng lunges for a dirty sneak attack. Look out, Mu Chenfeng! Xiaofan cries. Suddenly, Yulin zips forward, crossing her arms to tank the heavy kick. Poor Yulin is tossed back like a doll by the impact. Mu Chenfeng turns, his heart sinking as she skids away. Bai Shuifeng just smirks. A mere half-step amateur trying to stop me. How cute. Mu Chenfeng rushes to her side, his voice full of alarm. Yulin, with a bit of blood on her lip, smiles softly. I am okay, young master. Just a tiny scratch, really. Please, do not worry. Xiaofan's eyes turn cold as she whips out her phone. Her voice is like steel. Surround Longhu Mountain in 3 minutes. Today, someone from the Zhengyi sect is going to pay the ultimate price. She kneels by Yulin, handing her a glowing vial of medicine. Drink this and focus. It will steady your energy. Right then, the roar of a helicopter fills the air as it descends. Wu Xiaofan turns to Mu Chenfeng with a supportive nod. Go ahead and do what you must. The Wu family has your back no matter what kind of chaos happens here today. Mu Chenfeng rises, thanking her politely before heading out. Suddenly, Wan Qian blocks his path, pointing a finger. Don't think the Wu family hype. Before she can finish, Mu Chenfeng snatches her by the throat. He lifts her high like she is weightless. I am sorry what was that my hearing is a bit fuzzy today. Bai Shuifeng pales, screaming in horror. Let her go right now. As he lunges, Mu Chenfeng delivers a lightning-fast kick that sends him flying. A massive, earth-shattering explosion echoes, making the very ground and the surrounding scenery shudder. Mu Chenfeng lifts her higher, his grip tightening. You are lucky I do not enjoy killing women, he says, tossing her aside like trash. Xiaofan, keep a close eye on this one. Xiaofan grins, readying a dangerous syringe. One prick, and she is paralyzed for 24 hours. She is not going anywhere. Mu Chenfeng slowly stalks toward the buried Bai Shuifeng. A panicked disciple tries to intervene. Stop, this is a sacred sect. Duels are forbidden. With a casual flick of his finger, Mu Chenfeng sends him sailing. I do not want to repeat myself. In this land, no one can stop me. Just then, his phone buzzes. It is Director Liang. Director, if you are calling to play peacemaker, then I am quitting this company immediately. Liang chuckles calmly. Easy there, young man. I am not stopping you. The South China branch needs a wake-up call anyway. Just try to avoid killing if you can. The Southwest has your back. I understand, Mu Chenfeng replies. Back at the office, Liang sips his tea. Ah, the aroma of elegance. A report comes in. John is locked up and Wan Yu is bored to tears. Liang nods. Have John's team start the genetic research. As for Wan Yu, put her on the holiday fair schedule. She can perform some magic tricks for the crowd to pass the time. Suddenly, the door flies open. Wan Yu hugs Liang tight. Uncle Liu, you are the best. Meanwhile, back on the mountain, another explosion rocks the area as Bai Shuifeng manages to stand back up. Not even the heavens can save you now, he roars in a rage. Mu Chenfeng just keeps his hands in his pockets, looking bored. For an evil cultivator, you sure talk a lot. Bai Shuifeng blurs into dozens of clones, closing in fast. Can you even keep up with my speed? Mu Chenfeng just steps aside, dodging every move effortlessly for over 300 rounds. Bai Shuifeng zips around like a frantic fly. Feeling lost, feeling helpless against my speed. You can't even tell which one of me is real, can you? It is over for you. Now die, he screams, attacking from behind. But in a flash, Mu Chenfeng's hand is around his neck. Are you the one feeling scared now? Let us see who breaks first. With a loud bang, Mu Chenfeng hammers him into the dirt, cratering the ground. He lets out a scornful laugh. Honestly, it is a miracle you have lived this long being so weak. Two elders rush in to save their disciple. Oh, the more the merrier. Come at me together. Mu Chenfeng laughs, taking them both on in a fierce battle where neither side gives an inch. So the old-timers want a piece of the action too. Mu Chenfeng speaks up. He draws a wooden sword that pulses with a blinding and divine spiritual energy. Let us see what the masters of this land are made of. The senior brother bows quickly. Wait, The Zhengyi sect has no wish to oppose you. Even a bloodied Bai Shuifeng pleads for mercy. Just then, the Wu family reinforcements arrive. The mountain is surrounded, Miss Wu Xiaofan looks at Mu Chenfeng, who sighs and lets go of Bai Shuifeng's neck. Let us call it a day. We should show the sect some respect, I suppose. He tosses the villains to his men. Take them to Beiyang. I want some real answers from the South China branch for today's mess. Suddenly, Yulin collapses. Mu Chenfeng, help! Xiaofan cries in a panic. He rushes over, taking her pulse. After a quick check, he lets out a relieved breath. It is okay. She is actually breaking through. She will be a grandmaster after she recovers. Xiaofan giggles. You are a total monster, Mu Chenfeng. A grandmaster before 20 people will be so jealous. Get Yulin to the best hospital, Xiaofan orders. One team stays with us. Suddenly, a subordinate hands her a phone. Miss, the chairman is calling. He sounds very upset. The phone practically explodes with shouting. Do you have any idea the mess you have made? My phone has been smashed to pieces from calls. Get back to Yanbei this instant. Xiaofan remains calm. Relax, Dad. Your old school ways are too slow. I am busy catching a bastard, so do not call back. Just keep things steady at the office for now, okay? Leave the troublemaking to the younger generation. She hangs up on her fuming father and tosses the phone back. All right, everyone, let us move out. We have a villain to catch. Mu Chenfeng sighed. Xiaofan, this might really strain things with your father. She just smiled back. Don't worry, my old man just likes to overthink the strategy. As long as the results lead to a massive level up for the family, everyone will eventually be on board. She held up 3 fingers with a cheeky grin. Sure, some might complain, but their noise just clears the path for my supporters to step up. Over at Beiyang, a subsidiary of the South China Group, things were just as lively. This cheerful fellow is Bai Fei, the master of Pingyang Tower. He was on a friendly call with old Director Wu. Director Wu, honestly, if the kids want to be a bit adventurous, let them. We adults just need to provide a little guidance along the way. On the other end, old Director Wu sighed. Director Bai, that girl Xiaofan is beyond my control now. If she shows up at your place, please give her a polite wake-up call for me. The old man finished his wine and let out a hearty laugh. Haha, they're all like our own children. No need for harsh lessons among family. Just then, his secretary stepped in with a fresh document. Director Bai, we have the latest results from the Zhengyi sect mission. It looks like the young master and Miss Wan took quite a hit in their progress. I saw Kanin says Mu Chenfeng and Xiaofan are currently heading toward Yanbei. Should we set up an intercept? The old man casually grabbed a cigar. Now, what kind of person do you think I am? Bai Fei doesn't do anything so beneath his level, he chuckled, pulling his secretary a bit closer. Go book the most expensive private room at Beiyang's finest hotel. We're going to mobilize the entire company for a grand welcome. He patted his lap with an excited grin. Remember, it has to be spectacular. We need to show off our legendary hospitality. As the girl lit his cigar, he added, Oh, have the students from that elementary school we funded organize a ceremony too. Flowers, performances, the whole 9 yards. The secretary hesitated. But sir, if they're coming to cause trouble, won't this make us look silly? The old man gave a playful grunt while hugging her. Humph, if Mu Chenfeng wants to put on a show in Beiyang, I'll build him the biggest stage possible just to see how he performs. Let's see if old Liang's famous blade even has the strength to strike down here. He gave the girl's nose a witty flick. You still have so much to learn about the game, my dear. He then leaned her back against the desk, ready to work. She feebly protested, Director Bai, please, not in the office. He just laughed heartily. The office atmosphere makes it much more exciting. Let's get to it right now. But just as he started, the phone blared. Which clueless person is ruining my vibe? He marched over and saw it was none other than old Liang calling. He answered with a polite tone. Oh, Director Liang, what a pleasant surprise to hear from you today. On the other end, Liang sounded skeptical. From your voice, Bai, it sounds like I'm the last person you wanted to talk to. Bai Fei puffed on his cigar and sat back with a loud laugh. Haha, you're a founding legend. How could a junior like me feel that way? Beiyang has reached its current level thanks to you and will always need your expert support. Liang replied, The seniors in Yanbei call you the pillar of this company. Bai laughed. You flatter me, it's all thanks to your guidance. I'm still just a student compared to you. Liang countered, Is that so? I heard you've developed a taste for international flavors lately. Why learn from an old man? As the secretary poured tea, Bai smiled. Times change. We have to keep up with global trends and mix things up. Anyway, is there something Pingyang Tower can assist you with? We'll do our absolute best. Liang got straight to the point. Mu Chenfeng is arriving in Beiyang soon. He had a tiny squabble with Xuefeng, just kid stuff. Let's be the sensible adults here. Please be magnanimous and let it slide. Bai crossed his legs smoothly. It's a trivial matter. I've already made grand arrangements. Don't you worry one bit. Once the call ended, Bai's polite smile vanished. Liangsheng, just wait. I'll pull you down from that pedestal soon enough. His mood was ruined. He slammed his cup down, shouting, Who told you to pour me this tea? Where did this even come from? The secretary stammered, It's Sparrow's tongue tea from the southwest branch. Frustrated, the old man snapped and gave her a sharp slap. Forget the tea. Get me a coffee right now. The cup shattered on the floor, leaving the poor girl in tears. She knelt down to pick up the pieces, whispering, Yes. Yes, Chairman. He pointed a finger at her. Send a message to that fool Liu Jining. Tell him I'm in a terrible mood. If he wants me to consider his request, he better wait until I'm feeling better. Meanwhile, at Beiyang Airport, a group of kids was practicing their lines. Children, when Brother Mu arrives, what do? A chubby little boy cheered, We perform our best and give him a flower garland to show him our famous Beiyang warmth. The teacher patted his head. Exactly. Good job. Nearby, a young man named Liu Jining was leaning against a car smoking. Mu Chenfeng, I've been waiting for this moment. Welcome to my territory. Suddenly his phone buzzed with a call from Bai's office. He picked up quickly. Assistant Bai, what can I do for you? She sounded urgent. Be at Tianyu Cafe in 10 minutes. Director Bai has instructions for you. He hopped into his car immediately. I'm on my way. I won't let the director down. With a screech of tires, he sped off toward the meeting. 8 minutes later, he arrived, quickly straightening his tie. This is it. If I nail this task, the Liu family might finally have a chance to level up again. He walked into the cafe and spotted her. Assistant Bai, hope I didn't keep you waiting. He walked toward her with a confident stride. Waiting long. Thud. He tripped and fell flat on his face right in front of her. His nose started bleeding instantly. He looked up with a dazed, silly grin. Did you wait long? Even with his glasses shattered, his inner lecher was still smiling. He scrambled up and wobbled to his chair, trying to look cool while wiping blood from his nose. His broken glasses sat crookedly on his face. So, what are the director's orders? I'll do anything to get the job done. Assistant Bai handed him a handkerchief with a look of pure disgust. Have you no shame you're making a scene and embarrassing the Liu name? Clean yourself up, it's revolting. He just chuckled. The Liu family is history Assistant Bai. Everyone knows. Director Bai is the only future worth following in Beiyang. A waitress brought over some tea. He continued, Honestly, I just want my supermarket to do well so I can pay my debts and maybe buy a new car. Simple goals. Assistant Bai sipped her tea. The director needs someone to keep a close eye on Mu Chenfeng's every move in Beiyang. Do this right and you'll be set for life. Liu's eyes lit up at Mu Chenfeng's name. Oh, does this mean I get my family's ancestral hall back? She raised an eyebrow. Don't push your luck. That belongs to Pingyang Tower now. Please, Assistant Bai, show some mercy. She sighed and slid a key across the table. The guards are gone. You can go back now. He was overjoyed, grabbing the key like it was a legendary loot drop. Thank you, Director Bai. I'm going to go pay my respects right now. He jumped up to leave, but slam. He fell flat on his face again, with a massive thud. Ah, my other lens. He looked up, looking completely ridiculous. Assistant Bai, don't you worry, I've got this covered. A girl looked at his pitiful state with pure annoyance and scoffed, What a moron, beat it. Meanwhile, at the Liu family's ancestral hall, key in hand, the young man raced to the ancient doors. Looking up, he thought of the years spent in shame. Finally, I'm home. He slowly sliced his arm, letting his blood begin to flow. He stepped inside with a heavy heart blood dripping from his clenched fist. Bai Fei, you'll regret this. Reaching the altar, he collapsed into a bow. Your unfilial descendant Jining is here. Please, ancestors, forgive me. Two guys in a car watched his wild bowing. Is he crazy? Look at the blood. The other shrugged. Don't sweat it. Director Bai has suppressed that Liu kid for years. He's harmless. Cut to Mu Chenfeng at a skyscraper. Mu Chenfeng stepped out with the ladies, sporting a leafy wreath like a modern-day hero. Director Bai really went all out for my arrival, he joked. Xiaofan snatched the leaves away. They're just playing nice because we're trouble. You can't exactly slap a guy who's smiling at you, right? Chenfeng wondered what trap was being set. We'll hit the South China branch tomorrow, regardless. Suddenly, Liu Jining came sprinting toward them from the distance, screaming at the top of his lungs. Mu Chenfeng, don't you move. The boy was instantly blocked by bodyguards. Chenfeng turned toward the hoarse voice. Who are you, a local employee? What's the deal? Jining pointed a shaky finger. They say you're the best of our generation. I don't believe it. Challenge me. If I win, you pay me 200 grand. If I lose, I'll be your servant and learn your blade. Xiaofan rolled her eyes. Sounds like a sweet deal for you. How'd a martial artist end up so broke? The boy groaned. Life's a mess. Xiaofan tossed a credit card at him. There's your money. Now vanish. Instead of being insulted, the scum snatched the card and shoved it in his pocket. He mumbled under his breath, then shouted, Mu Chenfeng, are you seriously going to hide behind a woman and ignore my duel? He kept pointing aggressively. Are you chicken? Inside the car, the old man was howling with laughter. Look at that, truly a professional performance. So satisfying. His secretary poured some wine, smiling. It's your genius, Director Bai. You can even make a total loser look useful. Everything has its value, Bai said, raising his glass. The show is just getting good. Outside, Mu Chenfeng stepped toward Jining with a calm gaze. It seems you're a bit greedy, aren't you? Fine, I'll give you a 3-move head start. Without warning, Jining lunged with shocking speed, surprising Chenfeng. As they crossed paths, the boy secretly slipped the credit card into Chenfeng's jacket pocket. Chenfeng drew a glowing spirit sword. Nice speed. But you're still just a rookie, if you think that's enough to win. Jining pulled out his own wooden blade and thrust it forward with everything he had. Chenfeng blocked the blow with his sword. In this era of fading magic, no one should be this fast besides me. Then his eyes widened as he realized the truth. Wait, this isn't normal swordsmanship at all? Is that a magical artifact? Jining grinned wildly. Haha, terrified of my family's legendary heirloom. Chenfeng looked pressured. For a second then, with a quick flick of his wrist, he sent the boy's sword clattering to the ground. Jinning's ego crumbled instantly. Darn it, let's restart. But before he could even blink, Chenfeng landed a palm strike that sent him tumbling back. You were given a chance and wasted it. How foolish can you be? Jining grabbed his head and scrambled away. What, you'll pay for this? Just wait. But just as he seemed to be escaping into the night, the boy suddenly pulled a U-turn and charged back at Chenfeng. Expecting another attack, Chenfeng watched as the boy simply grabbed his fallen sword. I'm not leaving my weapon behind. I'm not that dumb. He then resumed his frantic escape, still yelling threats into the wind. Xiaofan stared blankly at the retreating figure. Was that guy a comedian? Chenfeng put his hands in his pockets, looking thoughtful. Who knows? Maybe he's just trying to get famous using my name. Your collar's a mess, let me fix it. As Xiaofan reached out, she pulled a hidden note from his pocket. Wait, what's this? Chenfeng pressed a finger to his lips. Not here. Let's talk once we're safe at the hotel. Once inside their room, Xiaofan did a quick sweep. It's clean, no bugs. Chenfeng nodded, releasing his spiritual energy to create a soundproof barrier. My aura will block any prying ears. We're finally alone. He unfolded the secret message Jining had risked everything to deliver. His face paled instantly as he read the name on the paper. Liu Chen. Why on earth is it Liu Chen's name here? Nani Swanyanetsis. While Chenfeng stayed quiet, Xiaofan looked totally panicked. Why her of all people? Chenfeng gazed out the door, his mind racing. Xiaofan, we really underestimated the Beiyang faction. Help me track down Jining. He's the key to finding Penglai. Let's see if we can buy his loyalty. Meanwhile, the old man in the car was relaxing with his secretary. So is tonight's stage all set? Everyone's ready for nightfall, Director Bai, she whispered. But Miss Wan is still being held. She's the young Tower Master's fiancée after all. Should we really just leave her there like that? The old man's face twisted in rage as he shoved her away. What do you know, girl? He growled, his eyes darkening with malice. We aren't saving her. In fact, if the chance comes up, I want her eliminated for good. The secretary trembled, cold sweat dripping down. But, Director, if the young master finds out... The old man let out a sinister, calculating look that spoke volumes. Let him know. Pingyang Tower belongs to me. He pulled her back into a cold embrace. Once Wan Qian is dead, Mu Chenfeng will take the fall. The Wan Corporation will destroy him for me. Back at the hotel, Chenfeng was calmly sipping tea. The night breeze is quite refreshing, Chenfeng remarked. Xiaofan leaned her head on her hand with a sigh. Peace is a pretty expensive luxury for people like us. By the way, how are the others doing? They're resting after some sedatives, Xiaofan replied, watching him closely. But stay sharp, Chenfeng. We're deep in Beiyang territory. I have a bad feeling tonight isn't going to be very quiet at all. I'd be disappointed if they didn't show up, he replied. Suddenly, 2 arrows hissed through the air. Chenfeng moved like lightning, catching them mid-flight. Xiaofan, get back inside. You're safe in there. I'm going to go meet our guests. A sniper watching from a nearby roof cursed. He caught them. Target is moving. Team 2 go. But before he could even blink, a shadow appeared behind him. A warm welcome and a midnight raid, Chenfeng asked coolly. Director Bai's little scheme is a bit predictable, wouldn't you say? Just as Mu Chenfeng spoke, a bullet whistled through the air. Our hero moved like lightning, dodging with style. Then with a polite shove, he sent the attacker flying right off the skyscraper. Mu Chenfeng chuckled at the blonde captain. Surely a seasoned cultivator knows that simple lead can't scratch him, but this messy fellow was the leader of the blood color team. He sneered, claiming that while he might not win, he could certainly keep our hero busy. How should I address you, dear brother? Mu Chenfeng asked politely. In response, the captain let out a barrage of gunfire and a few colorful words. He didn't care about his name. He just wanted Mu Chenfeng to remember the Pingyang Tower's elite squad. The bullets rained down, but Mu Chenfeng danced through them with ease. He teased the captain, wondering how much Director Bai would pay to get such a high-ranking officer back. Not to be outdone, the captain zipped behind him, gun drawn. He countered by asking if Director Liang would bother rescuing a detained hero. Mu Chenfeng admired the man's footwork, but noted he was a bit too optimistic. He launched a flurry of friendly punches, yet the captain managed a narrow escape. Still holding his weapon high, the man kept up his confident facade. Time for some Wing Chun. The gun fired, but a shimmering blue barrier flickered into existence, protecting our hero. Everyone stared in shock as the bullet bounced off. Sensing the tables turning, the blonde captain beat a hasty retreat. It seems I was underestimated, Mu Chenfeng noted calmly. This sent the captain into a total tizzy, screaming about how even great masters fell to Director Bai 35 years ago. Mu Chenfeng just used his elegant footwork to dodge every shot, leaving the poor man practically in tears. Suddenly, Mu Chenfeng appeared right beside him. Before the poor guy could even blink, our hero unleashed the legendary Tathagata's palm. One swift strike later, the captain was wailing in pain. How could his hand be ruined in the blink of an eye? The captain grimaced, clinging to his weapon. He insisted that flesh and blood were no match for modern firepower. Even with a broken hand, his spirit was stubborn. He pointed his gun once more, declaring that the golden age of martial arts was over. "See you at the gates of the underworld," the captain yelled. Mu Chenfeng didn't wait, sending him flying into a water tank with a well-placed kick. "You're just a tiny frog in a very deep well." Our hero sighed with a pitying smile. With a wave of his hand, Mu Chenfeng summoned a storm of wooden swords that glowed like starlight. "Let me show you what real power looks like," he said softly. The sword surged forward, leaving the captain crying out for his mommy in total agony. Between sobs, the captain claimed Mu Chenfeng had walked right into a trap. Our hero just looked away, completely unfazed by the hollow threats. Seeing his intimidation fail, the captain began to panic. Director Bai's plan was already in motion. The captain sneered that others would finish the job. Mu Chenfeng considered mercy, but hearing them insult young Xiaofan changed everything. His eyes flared with a gentle but firm rage. To underestimate his friends was the one thing he couldn't forgive. Mu Chenfeng decided he'd heard enough and finished the business. Meanwhile, Wu Xiaofan was having a frantic phone call while her friends slept soundly. She yelled into the receiver, asking if they were coming just to pick up her remains in 10 minutes. The voice on the phone begged her to hold on as they'd been blocked. Just then, a guard burst in with terrible news. A powerful Xiantian master was leading the attack, and their defenses were crumbling fast. A Xiantian master Xiaofan whistled. Bai Fei certainly didn't miss a beat with this plan. Thinking quickly, she ordered her guards to bring the unconscious duo along. They'd make for some excellent bargaining chips if things got dicey. As they sped down the road, a massive explosion rocked the area. Xiaofan remained cool as a cucumber, watching the pursuers in the rearview mirror. Was Director Bai trying to save his son or just clean up the evidence? Her driver panicked as backup went silent. A massive truck soon blocked their path, but Xiaofan wasn't worried. She knew they wouldn't dare hurt her. The real mystery was how far Director Bai was willing to push his luck today. Suddenly, a stylish woman with a dangerous gaze opened fire on their car. Xiaofan dodged the bullets with practiced grace, silently complaining about the over-the-top dramatics. Is Director Bai really trying to take me out, she wondered. Xiaofan hopped out to make a run for it, while her guards dragged the captives along. The female assassin approached calmly, gun in hand. She politely explained that Director Bai had no quarrel with Miss Wu. They were only there for the young master and Wan Qian. Just hand them over, and you can go, the woman promised. Xiaofan popped a piece of candy in her mouth and smirked. These chess pieces were way too expensive to just give away for free. She wasn't born yesterday, after all. The assassin tried a different approach, offering to open up the Beiyang market as a bribe. She urged Xiaofan to consider the director's sincere gesture. It was quite the tempting offer for a business-minded lady. Xiaofan giggled, calling Director Bai a bit of a cheapskate. She glanced at the captives, reminding the assassin that Bai only had one son. With Wan Qian's family status on the line, too, surely he could do better than that. This deal just isn't sweet enough, Xiaofan teased. Director Bai wouldn't want all those powerful families hunting him down, would he? Hearing this, the assassin lost her patience and lunged forward like a gust of wind. I'll kill whoever you want, Miss Wu, the woman shouted as she blurred past. Seeing the sudden shift in violence, Xiaofan yelled for her guards to stop the madwoman immediately. Wan Qian must survive, Xiaofan screamed. But the assassin was too quick, taking down the guards in a single elegant flash of her blade. Xiaofan couldn't believe it. The people from Pingyang Tower were truly out of their minds. In a heartbeat, the guards were gone. The assassin stood over Wan Qian, indifferent to the chaos her death would cause across the kingdom. Poor Xiaofan collapsed, sobbing like a child at the sheer hopelessness of the situation. I only care about the mission, the assassin hissed. She raised her blade, ready to end Miss Wan's life right then and there. Xiaofan shrieked, certain that everything was about to come to a tragic end. Just as the blade descended, a thunderous voice echoed from the heavens. Sword, come to me! The assassin froze, looking up in shock. Was there another hidden master joining this light-hearted little scuffle? A man in glasses plummeted down with a rather silly yet grand entrance. An explosion of dust cleared to reveal a very cool-looking hero. The assassin's eyes widened. You're Liu Jining, she gasped. You total clown, do you even want a job in Beiyang? Liu Jining strikes a suave pose for Miss Wu. I'm right on time, aren't I? Wu Xiaofan sighs. Next time, try being 5 minutes early, please. Another second, and I'd be shaking hands with the king of the underworld. They turn toward the assassin. The game is up, Wu Xiaofan notes calmly. You've lost your window, but the blade wielder doesn't budge. You think this is over? How cute that you think you've won. She lunges forward, twin blades gleaming. If I grab you, Mu Chenfeng will have no choice but to negotiate. Seeing the threat, Liu Jining shifts into a perfect combat stance, smiling politely. I'm still standing here, you know. Don't ignore me. Liu charges, launching a swift palm strike. The woman bends back like a willow branch, dancing through his flurry of moves with surprising grace. She is not going down easily. You are just a talentless brat. She screams, eyes full of venom. Perish. But Liu simply flicks a finger, shattering her flow instantly. Is that the best your system can offer? I am almost disappointed. I am not exactly a pushover, you see. Startled by his speed, she leaps back to create space. You have been playing us, she hisses. How dare you hide your sword control technique from Director Bai? You are a fraud. Liu gives a humble little shrug. Oh, you flatter me, but honestly, if I had not played the fool, I would have been buried years ago. Survival takes a bit of acting. With a cheerful grin, he rushes her. Blades clash as she struggles to keep up with his rhythm. Is this the famous Blood Body Squad leader? Liu asks playfully. I expected more. Panic finally sets in as sweat beads on her brow. Blast it all, she cries. You absolute bottom feeder, you should be dead. Liu just chuckles, enjoying the moment. Surprised it is always the ones you least expect. One powerful strike sends her flying back, leaving the crowd in total shock. Fire, wipe them out, the woman screams. Liu swings his blade flashes of light, swatting bullets away. He smiles at Wu Xiaofan. Don't worry, Miss Wu, as long as I am here, you are perfectly safe. His blade work is like poetry in motion. With a few graceful dashes, the black-clad attackers drop before they can even blink. Trembling, she fumbles for her phone. Liu has reached a monstrous level. I must alert Director Bai. Suddenly, Mu Chenfeng arrives like a descending deity. He looks around and grins. Looks like I missed the start of the party, Xiaofan. The assassin collapses at Mu's feet, her phone screen splintering into 1,000 pieces. Standing tall with an imposing aura, Mu Chenfeng clears the path. His wooden sword strikes like lightning, toppling the remaining guards like falling trees. Even on the ground, she clings to her mission, desperate to report back. Mu glances toward Liu with a knowing look. Help him finish up. No witnesses. Mu turns to Xiaofan with a soft smile. Find us a quiet spot to hide. She nods confidently. On it. Later, Liu whistles in the safe room. Impressive Miss Wu hiding right under their noses. Hey, it is the classic hidden in plain sight trick. Wu retorts with a playful huff. Just then Mu Chenfeng enters the room with a serious expression. The coast is clear, Mu announces, taking a seat. He locks eyes with Liu. All right, no more games. Who are you? Really? Liu pulls the curtains back, looking out at the city. I am just Liu Jining, believe it or not. Mu drops a file. I checked your background. How does a loser reach the level of a half-step chi condensation expert? And where did this photo come from? He clenches his fist, blue energy glowing. Tell me everything. You aren't leaving until I get the truth. Mu growls. Liu raises his hands in a friendly surrender. Whoa, easy, I took that photo myself. He holds up his phone. Mu's eyes widen as he looks at the screen. You actually found a path to Penglai? Mu asks, breathless. I did. But there is a pesky seal blocking the way, Liu admits. Mu hands the phone back, his gaze narrowing. We will solve that later. First, who are you? Meanwhile, at the Wan Corporation, Director Bai slams his fist down, shattering his tea set. That little rat Liu deceived me. His secretary tries to soothe him. Sir, please. The reports say he has reached the half-step chi condensation stage. He has been hiding his power. Our elite squads are wiped out. Perhaps it is time to call in the revenge squad. To her surprise, the old man cackles with delight. Wonderful, let them die. It only makes things more interesting. The old man bolted.